What strange thing did you find out about someone else that they thought was perfectly normal? I was talking to my husband on the phone and he told me to hang on, he had to put his clothes back on. He was at work. I asked what the hell he was doing and apparently he always takes all his clothes off to take a dump. Even at work. I knew he did it at home but he always would then get in the shower after, so I figured it was just a preface to showering. He said he balances them over the stall door so they don't get poop particles on them. I told him no one else does this. He didn't notice because in the men's room Hess used for the last 10 years Therese only one stall. I'm not sure why no colleague ever asked him why Hess hanging clothes over the stall door. My friend genuinely believed that leprechaun was just a term for indigenous Irish little people. He's been drinking pain again, hasn't he? His hobbies include magnets. His dislikes include people's knees. 28-year-old at work. Takes a dump with the seat up. Arse directly on the porcelain. The hell does he think the seat is for? So the lid doesn't get lonely? For girls, duh. My ex and her entire family share a toothbrush. She argued it like they were all sharing a hairbrush. Glad that ended. Dude, I caught an old roommate using my toothbrush once. I was all, what the duck, dude? And he was baffled as to why I was disgusted. Apparently he'd been doing it for a while. I had one college roommate who put on a clean pair of underwear every time she used the bathroom. Edit, for those of you wanting more details, 1. She had Asperger's too. She only went twice a day, and never in public restrooms. 3. She could stand to wear any pads or liners. 4. She didn't leak or anything, but otherwise had terrible hygiene. 5. We were at college in Bumbleduck Nowhere, USA, where probably 99% of the student body had never seen nor heard of a bidet. Strange, but not poop in the shower strangenesty. A friend told me about her roommate who keeps a large bin full of bread under her bed. Every week, she buys a new loaf and adds it to the bin. She doesn't actually eat that much bread, but has a huge bin full. This reminds me of a conversation I had with a friend recently about sleep paralysis, general sleep problems. I asked, you know that feeling when you wake up with tears running down your face and realize you had been crying in your sleep? He replied, no, are you okay? Your friend's roommate might have been either starved as a child or grew up really poor. Hiding food like that is usually an indicator. It basically serves as a psychological comfort thing. She won't go hungry because she always has the bread, so she keeps it there just in case. Grew up poor and can confirm. I had a stash in a trunk in my room as a kid. Saved our lives after our house burned down. Cause the trunk didn't burn all the way through, so the food was still good. I have a friend who has lost an immense amount of weight, yet eats and drinks like crap all the time. It had been revealed to me by him that he often feels so full sometimes that he just makes himself puke to feel better. This has been going on for quite a few years now. Hess straight up bulimic and thinks it's just a neat little way to get rid of all the bad foods and drinks he gorges himself with. Hess gotten so good at making himself puke, it's almost silent. No gagging sounds, no messy puke splatter. Just a stream of chewed up food and beers. I'm quite sure that even his wife is oblivious to this. That's horrible to hear. You should really consider trying to get your friend to see a therapist who specializes in eating disorders. Not to mention a regular doctor. Stomach acid is so bad on your esophagus. And a dentist. It's bad for the teeth, too. One time my best friend and I were on a voice chat as it was getting pretty late. At one point he said that he should probably head to bed because he was starting to see gory and otherwise disturbing things. Apparently he has hypnagogic hallucinations every so often and just assumed that it was normal when to see stuff when you get tired. Edit, this seems to be a lot more common than I thought. Don't be too worried if you have this, it doesn't really seem like a big deal, sorry for the scare. Also, some of you people need to sleep more often, eh? That happens to me. Some people just have a lower threshold for sleep deprivation and get the hallucinations sooner than others. Thankfully all I see is shadow people and I'm good at ignoring them. That's so horrifying though. This whole thread is horrifying and I'm amazed at how many people just deal with this. It really is. I both feel really bad for these guys, but I'm also getting a morbid desire to stay awake for a while so I can see what I'd see here. Guy had 3 nuts. Thought he just had an extra testicle. We told him it was probably a tumor. It was. My friend last night was like, when you think you're starting to get sick and you're super tired, your nose is runny, and your throat is phlegmy. And we're all like, yeah. And she says, and then your hands go completely numb? And we're all like, nope, that's definitely just you. She might be not oxygenating very well when she's sick. If I have a panic attack, I don't breathe right and my hands, feet and face go numb. My neighbors ate their cornflakes with orange juice instead of milk. Their parents had conditioned them all to think this was normal and acceptable behavior. I'm calling Child Protective Services right now. They carried a pizza box sideways under their arm. Wow. I'm so glad it made other people as uneasy as it made me. It was a neighbor at a neighborhood pizza party that was kinda strange already. Every time someone talks about him, I'm like, I knew he was strange since the pizza box incident. Pizza shop employee here. People do this with some regularity and it is never not disturbing. My roommate in college thought you washed clothes on every single cycle on the washing machine. Our machine had a delicate cycle, a cotton cycle, a solo rinse cycle, a permanent press cycle, etc. He always complained about the washer taking forever. It's because he was washing his clothes 4 to 5 times every time he did laundry. Good Lord, water bills for days. When my friend makes mac and cheese, she puts the cheese powder, milk, and butter into the boiling water. Edit, added commas. Okay, so my old roommate did a lot of drugs and drank a lot. One time I had a friend over and we were gonna smoke from my roommate's bong, and when my friend took a hit he threw up due to an extremely unpleasant taste and smell. We poured out the bong water and my roommate said he had never changed it out and the water was very, very dark. I wanna say it was almost black, but it was at least just very, very dark. My roommate then said that looks like pee. We all looked at him in disbelief and asked if that's what his pee looked like, and he looked very concerned when we pressed him on it and when we said that that's not how pee should look. I also would like to add that we did tell him that he should go and see a doctor about that, to which he replied yeah and then changed the subject. Edit, some clarification and added last paragraph. This is like multiple layers of duct. A guy I know finishes wiping his ass with a Q-tip. He gets it as clean as possible with TP and then uses a Q-tip to go up a little further and get the last little bits of poop. Edit, well damn. I didn't think this comment would get this kind of attention. Thanks for the gold and silver though. Now I challenge someone to make a sign for a Spins college game day that says rival coach finishes wiping with a Q-tip. This guy is living in 4018. I know someone at work that eats oranges with a peel on. I'm pretty sure he is a psychopath. There was a chick in my math class in university who would always come to class, peel a lemon, then proceed to eat it like nothing. I had a friend whose parents would buy a gallon of whole milk and pour half the gallon in another jug, then mix water into both to dilute it. She always just thought that other people got a different brand of milk because drinking milk at a friend's house always tasted different. Her grandparents did it too. Really weirded me out when I saw her mom just pour milk into an empty jug, and mixing water with it. I 100% guarantee you that their grandparents learned that in the Great Depression. My friend started talking about how he'd just sometimes randomly lactate like it was the most casual topic of conversation. Is he on antipsychotics? Those types of meds can make men lactate. Source: when I was working at a jail, a male inmate squirted titty juice at me. I found out later from one of the nurses his meds were the reason why. I'm a female and DP coat did this to me. It was so embarrassing because it was in the middle of fun time and my husband told me my nipple tasted weird. I told the doctor and she took me off of it. My dad's parents never told him to brush his teeth and he told me that he used to eat a whole can of condensed milk every day as a kid. He still thinks it's perfectly normal, I don't know. And he just wondered why one day his teeth fell out. Only when he was in his 20s someone told him that brushing helps. How do his teeth look now?